evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Zihir Basho. In tonight's Game Plan, we'll connect with the PLDT high-speed hitters as they wrap up their run in the 2022 PVL Invitational Conference.
We'll also catch up with Jamie Malonzo on his invite to join the Gilas Pilipinas pool for the FIBA World Cup qualifiers. And we'll go through the list of the PBA's top scorers still competing in the Philippine Cup semifinals. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. Despite missing the podium, the high-speed hitters had some bright spots in their journey in the PVL Invitational Conference. Now, two of their stars, in Mika Reyes and Dell Palomata, emerged as the top two best blockers in the league. Let's find out more about their experience in the heart of volleyball. We're joined by Mika Reyes and Dell Palomata here in the studio. Oh my God, you're not on Zoom, you're real people. Oh, maraming salamat. Welcome to the game. Oh. I'm just saying, I'm so excited, Z, that they're here. Kanina, nag-usap kami ni Mika, and we now agree. Now, she now realizes that I'm actually older than her by a few years. Pero ito, Mika, grabe yung experience ninyo sa conference na to. Kasi syempre, ibang-iba. The health and safety protocols that each team had to go through, yung scheduling, and even kung sino makakalaban nyo, hindi kayo sigurado at one point or the other. Could you describe yung experience nyo this year?
Siguro, ang cliche na ng word ito, pero sobrang roller coaster ride talaga. And for sure sa ibang teams din, ganun. Pero siguro sa experience namin, grabe rin talaga yung mga sacrifices na ginawa namin. And yung pagod din talaga kasi sunod-sunod yung games and parang kapag talo ka pa sa isang game, paano ka makaka-recover agad? Yung mga gano'n. Pero sobrang na-challenge kami and hindi man namin nakuha yung goal namin pero marami kaming natutunan this conference.
Definitely, and a lot of people have been saying na grabe yung growth nyo this year. And yun nga, nakakalimutan kasi ng mga tao na kaka-revamp lang ng PLDT this year. And a lot of players came from different teams and then this year, nabuo. But so far, ang ganda ng takbo ng team. Del, ikaw, isa sa mga bagong pumirma with the PLDT high-speed hitters. Kamusta yung journey mo with the team?
Para sa akin, syempre, the first, is naninibago pa lang ako. So, parang nag-a-adjust. Pero, sa tinagal-tagal, din kami. Naging kampante rin ako sa mga teammate ko. Naging okay din.
I like the smile on the face of Mika, by the way.
Na-affirm siya.
Oo nga, na-affirm si Del. Tama. Pero, Del, parang yung comfort level mo with the team, parang nakuha mo kaagad because grabe, parang na-showcase mo yung entire skill set mo. How important was it, yung comfort level mo to what we've seen on the court?
Sobrang importante sa akin. Siyempre, is nakakatulong din naman sila sa akin for improvement. Sobrang komportable talaga ako sa team.
And speaking of showcasing yung skill set mo, Mika, first PVL Best Middle Blocker Award.
Okay, segue na yun.
#1 spiker in the semis, #1 blocker in the prelims. And ako kahit napansin ko na parang, grabe, it's like a whole nother level of Mika Reyes. It's like, a lot of people, and I agree with it, parang siyang college Mika, but like, version 2.0.
Thank you.
As in, ganun. As in, so,
Thank you.
I wanted to ask, siguro, especially your fans, parang, ano yung difference this year or this conference? Bakit parang nag-boom si Mika Reyes?
Paano ko ba sagutin yan? Siguro, challenge ko lang talaga every conference yung sarili ko. And mas nagiging patient lang din ako if ever man hindi ko makuha yung goal ko. Parang ayoko lang i-down sarili ko. Kasi siguro, the past year, parang wala rin kami sa Final Four o hindi kami nakakuha ng magagandang games. Pero ako pa rin yung #1 cheerleader ng sarili ko. So parang kahit anong mangyayari, hindi ko man makuha yung goal ko, pero gusto ko nag-i-improve pa rin ako and may natututunan ako. So I think very helpful din talaga siya para sa growth ko. Kasi sabi nga nila, wala namang ibang kalaban kundi yung self mo. So sarili ko talaga yung gusto kong i-improve.
Yeah, when you look at yung team mo especially, I'm sure yung growth mo is also attributed because of yung growth din
Yes,
nila.
yes.
May teammate ka ba na, you look at the entire conference, yung entire time of PLDT so far na nagulat ka or surprised you in the sense that tipong that person impacted the team in that sort of way?
Actually, lahat. Lahat din talaga. And yes, si Dell.
Kaya sasabihin ko sa akin, pwede yung sagutin si Dell eh.
Lalayo pa ba tayo?
Lalayo pa ba ako? Ito lang katabi ko. Pero kasi ang dami rin namin na pagdaanan na parang pinupush din talaga siya ng teammates namin, ng coaches namin, ng management namin. Kasi alam naman natin malaki yung potential.
Yeah.
And with the help of our teammates, lahat talaga binuboost yung moral namin isa-isa. So, tingin ko lahat talaga nagtulungan para makuha namin yun. And I can say na malaki rin talaga improvement ng team from the last conference,
Yeah.
from the first conference.
Correct. And yun nga, I think isa dun sa mga growth na nakita ng mga fans is yung chemistry nyo.
Yeah.
So Del, ano yung mga ginagawa nyong team bonding na parang...
Ano sabihin?
Ay, secret pala. Okay, yung pwede lang isabihin. Kasi
Mga
nandito
TV friendly,
Oo, yung pwedeng i-share sa children.
Siguro, kasi may nagpa-plan kami na lumabas. Like, lunch kan.
Yeah.
Yun lang yung
Mga
ano namin.
simple
Tapos
things.
nagkukwentuhan
Simple things,
kami.
Okay.
Parang doon namin nilalabas.
Grabe, yan lang yung TV friendly. Okay. Yan lang. Pero, Del, syempre, being part of this group, you're lucky to have great veterans. Si Mika, Rhea.
Veteran ako.
Yes.
Bata, mag-age
Tanggapin
kami.
mo
Bata
na
pa
yun.
kami.
But, ayun, I mean, like, how does it feel knowing that you can look up to players like that?
Siyempre, para sa akin, napakaswerte ko at napunta ako dito sa team ng PLDT. Tsaka, siyempre, mga sa kasama ko, siyempre, malaking tulong din sa akin, lalo na sa part ko kasi, siyempre, dati parang hindi ako, parang yung, alam mo yun, parang sila yung naglabas ng potential,
Yeah.
ng ano ko.
It's good to listen to people your
Diba?
age, no? Ganun tayo.
Ayo, wow. Okay, sige. Ay, nako, Pao. But siguro coming from this conference, ano yung lessons natin na sa tingin nyo madadala nyo in the next conference? Kasi 7 weeks na lang. I'm sure you're already preparing. So, ano siguro yung maaabangan ng fans nyo for your team?
First of all, siguro kailangan namin ma-polish din talaga kasi meron kaming mga crucial games na 5-setter games na hindi namin nakukuha kahit kami yung ahead. So, syempre, nakakalungkot na hindi namin nakukuha yung mga laro na yun. Pero, yun din yung mga bagay na kailangan namin pag-aralan pa kung ano yung mga things to improve, kung ano yung mga... Kasi hindi lahat din skills eh. Mahirap din ituro yung parang pagiging, ano bang tawag doon? Yung presence of mind, yung pagiging matapang talaga sa loob. So, yun pa yung mga kailangan namin i-improve. And I think yung lahat kami mas naging patient this
Mas naging patient ka ba, Del?
Siyempre, para sa team din naman. Kaya, go lang.
Oo. Pero Del, syempre, still looking forward to yung next conference. Individually, what do you feel that you need to do para mapa yung level ng laro mo?
Para sa akin, more on training pa ako. Para hindi pa ako nakakontento kung anong nilalaro ko sa loob ng court this conference. Parang kailangan ko pang bubugin yung self ko sa training. Kailangan ko pang mag-focus sa training. Para yung pinaghirapan ko and then yung mga teammates ko sa training, may namin sa laro.
Alright, kasi interestingly enough, Pao, it's the middle blockers, yung mga top scorers ng PLDT. So parang it's really cool to see something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm very sure kasama ko dyan and the rest of your fans are looking forward to the next conference. Thank you, Dell. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for coming to the studio. Kasi I'm so tired of Zoom, Z! I'm so tired of Zoom. Maraming salamat. And we can't wait to see you in the Tariflex soon.
Ulitin.
Alright, and after the break, ito din na, Pao. We'll get to speak to Jamie Malonzo on his first call-up in the Gilas Pilipinas pool. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. to the game. Gilas Pilipinas is finalizing its roster as the FIBA Basketball World Cup Asian qualifiers are just around the corner. Joining us today is one of the players that made the 24-man pool, Gilas rookie Jamie Malonzo. Jamie, good evening and welcome to the game.
Hi, thank you for having me, Lee and Paula.
Hey, you know, it's so great that you're here and we can call you Gilas rookie because I remember your rookie year in the PBA, they made us call you Jaime, but I don't think that's happening this time around. But Jamie, you know, first of all, I just want to remind people that he is now wearing a Gilas Pilipinas jersey because you are now training with the pool. First off, how does it feel to put that name on your chest and how has training been so far?
It feels good, man. Honestly, like I say this all the time, it's really like a dream come true. So far, practice has been great. We've been grinding and learning together as a team. So hopefully we could make something shake soon. So.
All right, Jamie, I wanted to ask, especially your fans for sure would want to know. Tell us your journey. How did you become eligible to play? The other day lang, a lot of people have been really excited for you.
Yeah, for sure. It's been in the works for a while now. Me and Chat had linked up, plus Chat had linked up in Vegas, and we really talked about it and sat down and got it all together. And luckily enough, we were able to get it all done so quickly and got it FIBA cleared. And now we're at this point today where I'm wearing a blue jersey.
You know, first of all, being a Lasallian, I'm telling you right now, blue doesn't suit you. Second, you know, looking at this Gilas roster, of course, we saw the recent list in the pool, and my goodness, is it stacked. When you saw all the names that was going to be part of this pool in particular, did it just make you even more excited? Especially knowing that a guy named, I think his name's Jordan Clarkson, is part of that pool.
Oh yeah, that's probably everybody's idol out here. But yeah, man, it definitely made me more excited for sure.
Well, you know, obviously getting together from different ball clubs, different cultures and learning, this is the first time for you to be part of this particular setup. Is it challenging trying to mesh everything together?
I wouldn't say so. We come from all different teams and all different places. So honestly, we're pretty excited to just be together and just learn and grow and be one team. So for us, you know, we're just grinding every day, taking it day by day, and we're getting better as the days go, and just exciting for us for sure.
And you've been mentioning about how practices have been exciting for everybody. What about other things that you do to make sure you're prepared by the time you compete?
Taking it day by day. I don't want to, you know, go out there and, you know, not give it my all. So I'm working every day, and so is everybody else. And I think I want to be able to show what I can do if I get the opportunity to be on the team. So
right now, Jamie, we're actually seeing highlights here of some of Gilas Pilipinas' last trip out, and we saw a dunk there from Francis Lopez. And one of our writers had a question specifically for you. If you've tried to have a dunk contest against Francis Lopez, and who you think could really hammer it down better between the both of you?
I'm gonna go with Francis.
Oh, really? Oh, you're too humble.
Yeah, I'm going with Francis. I'm not gonna sleep on Francis. You got it. I just had a birthday recently, so I'm getting older.
All right, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Looking forward at the matchups ahead. Obviously, there's that game against Lebanon in Lebanon, and then coming back here to the Philippines against Saudi Arabia. A bit of history between the Philippines and Lebanon very recently. Has that played into the minds of anyone during training so far? And of course, how are you looking forward to those games in particular?
Most definitely. Coach has brought it up, and you know, we're well aware of what happened recently. So we want to go out there and show that we can compete, show we can get the win, show that we could do what it takes to, you know, get us right on the right track. So.
All right, Jamie. Jamie, again, thank you very much for talking to us. Don't go away, though, because after the break, we have a lot more to talk about, particularly about the PBA. And again, after the break, we'll go through the top list of top scorers in the ongoing PBA Philippine Cup. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. back. You're watching the game. Right now, at the moment, it is 53-39 in favor of the San Miguel Beermen in Game 7 of the Philippine Cup semifinals with 8:04 left in the third quarter. Still a long way to go, but looking a bit bleak here for the Meralco Bolt to see if they can turn that around. Now, back to the show. The late, great Bill Russell once said that young bloods have to understand that this game has always been and will always be about buckets. Now, still with us to talk about the top scorers in the ongoing PBA Philippine Cup semis is a walking bucket himself. Don't get in his way. He will dunk on you. His name is Jamie Malonzo. Jamie, again, thank you very much for still being on the show with us. Talk about some of the top scorers here in the league. Now, I'm going to assume that you may have had the unfortunate opportunity to defend some of these guys. We're going to start off with my personal favorite to talk about every time a young person enters the league. How is it like guarding a Junmar Fajardo?
Oh, that's a good one right there. It's definitely a challenge for me. I'm not, tall enough to defend a player like that, but he's definitely a handful. I'll give you that much.
So he scores 18.5 points per game, 13.55 rebounds per game here in this conference, and his sheer size and his intelligence, I'm sure, is going to be really difficult. But then we have a few exciting other players, here to name here. Z, who do you got next?
I guess I'm going to go for the number one so far in the league, Mikey Williams from the TNT squad.
All right, so have you guarded him? Have you stayed in front of him?
Paulo, that's a good question. I think the answer is you really can't. So, Mikey's very talented. He can shoot it from anywhere. He can finish anywhere. Definitely one of the most skilled players in the league today, and he's definitely onto his. He's on his second appearance in the championship, all Filipino conferences, and he's there for a reason. So he's definitely a handful as well.
Jamie, when you look at a guy like Mikey, a lot of people say that you can scout him. Just send him left. But then that's easier said than done, is it?
Oh, yeah. I'm not being biased because he's my friend either, but it's definitely easier said than done when it comes to Mike Williams.
All right, so let's move on here. Z, who do you got next?
All right, let's go with RR Pogoy. Or as you call him.
Well, I call him Pogdonovich because he can really light it up sometimes from the field. But Jamie, talk about the game of an RR Pogoy.
He's definitely a scorer. I think if I'm not correct, he should be second in scoring in the league still.
Yeah, he's at 19 points per game right now, shooting at 40% from the field. Near about up there. I'm not sure how it'll turn out at the end of the semis, but yeah, go on.
But yeah, he could definitely put the ball in the bucket, and he can knock down that open three right there that I'm seeing. So he's definitely solid. Anyone scoring 19 points is definitely doing something right.
So we're now going to move on to San Miguel Beermen here, and Z has this one in particular. I'm really curious to see what your answer is here because this guy has changed this game a bit, Z.
Are we talking about the same guy?
Yes,
CJ
we are.
Perez. I wanted to ask you, Jamie, which is more difficult to guard, when he's inside the paint or when he shoots from the deep?
I'm gonna say on the inside because CJ is definitely talented with his finishes, and I think he uses that to his advantage. So
it feels like he's expanding his game a bit. I don't know if you agree with me here, Jamie, but then he's been showing off his range more and more this conference. I was wondering whether or not you feel that when you see him on the floor, and of course, just how dangerous is he if he actually has that down pat as a player right now?
For sure. I mean, that dunk right there says it all. He's been competing with most dunks in the league. So that, and I would say his passing is underrated. I think he got a triple-double this year, so that can't go unnoticed.
All right, let's go to another athlete who's actually playing tonight. Chris Newsome. Is he the go-to guy of the Meralco Bolts in scoring?
I'm gonna say yes. I'm not sleep on Chris Newsome. I've seen him hit some game-winning shots, and he's definitely the leader of that team. He's been leading them. So to how far they got with the help of Aaron Black, but yeah, definitely he's the go-to.
You know, you mentioned Aaron, and we can not mention him, of course. But then when you look at Chris Newsome, people say that he's not just there for scoring. You mentioned his leadership. You've played against him quite a bit. Is that leadership tangible? Do you see it? Do you see it right in front of you as you're guarding the Meralco Bulls? Do you hear his encouragement and seeing him really pump up his teammates to make sure that you don't get your buckets in particular?
Most definitely. I think when we're playing against each other, it's harder to see. But you know, I've watched a couple games and I've watched him and I've watched some timeout huddles, and I was actually surprised by his leadership and the role he's taking for that team. So I definitely see it more off the court than playing against him for sure.
Well, we have one more player here for you to talk about. Z, take it away.
Let's go for another San Miguel Beermans. Jericho Cruz averaging 16.9 points per game.
Off the bench most of the time, mind you, Jamie. I mean, what do you have to say about this guy?
He's solid, man. He's as solid as it gets. I think, you know, I think he has a talent for putting the ball in the hoop, shooting the three-pointer, and he's definitely one of the key factors for SMB winning tonight and possibly going to the championship. So,
is he underrated? Real quick, yes or no, in your opinion?
I mean, there's a lot of stars on that team. You know, I think they talk about him a lot, but I still think he's definitely a big piece to that team. So.
Absolutely. I understand you there, Jamie. Jamie, again, thank you very much for taking the time, especially right after your practice. I know how hard it is to answer questions right after you do a sprint, so really appreciate you taking your time here.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, good luck on your Gilas journey. All right, that's it for tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'm Zihir Basho.
Catch us weeknights here on One News, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. I'm Paulo Del Rosario, and this has been The Game.